Welcome back to Football Daily. Almost 3 years after they lifted the U17 World Cup in 2017, we've decided to take a look back at that winning England squad and see where they are now. Let's go. Goalkeeper Curtis Anderson. Blackpool and Manchester City Academy product Anderson's most memorable moment came in the last 16 of that tournament, where he saved one and scored one in the penalty shootout victory over Japan, before going on to play in the final. The Englishman spent 7 years in the Sky Blues setup after moving to the club from Blackpool at 11 years old for £15,000. But in March 2019, the teenager transferred to US team Charlotte Independence, cutting his City contract short. Frustrated with the Citizens' system of rotating their 4 academy keepers every game, Anderson decided he needed more game time to boost his development. Moving abroad at such a young age in search of first-team football has its risks. While it may have worked out for players like Jadon Sancho, who we'll get onto later, it wasn't so successful for Anderson, as after 7 weeks at the club, he became a free agent due to the new manager not favouring him. At the time of writing, the shot stopper is clubless, but he has been playing and training with Charlton, who he could sign for over the coming weeks. Still just 19, one bump in the road should not affect his end goal of reaching the very top. Defender Jonathan PANZO. Jonathan PANZO was one of the key players in helping England only concede 6 goals over 7 games in that victorious tournament run. Joining Chelsea at 9 years old, the defender spent 8 years at the club before moving to Monaco in July 2018, in the hope of getting first-team minutes. But now, while on loan at Cercle Bruges, he may have regrets over leaving Stamford Bridge so soon. That's not to say Monaco was a bad choice. Since moving to the Principality, PANZO has received the minutes he desired, playing in Ligue 1 and the Coupe de la Ligue, racking up nearly 300 minutes of action. His loan move to Belgium, however, has seen him tested more consistently in the professional game, starting a total of 18 matches, and while his club are currently in a relegation battle, the teenager has played his part, filling in at left-back for 90% of the games he's featured in, rather than his preferred position of centre-half. However, what is of concern is that he recently suffered a knee injury which he is still recovering from. A return to Monaco in the summer is his most likely next move, and with Kamil Glik not getting any younger, he may be able to forge a place in the first team. Defender Mark Guéhi. Chelsea will heavily feature in this XI, with 6 of the 21 players in the under-17s England squad coming through their academy, and Mark Guéhi is one of them. The centre-half was imperative in the tournament, starting all 7 games and scoring in the final to beat Spain 5-2. The 19-year-old, who has already made his debut for the Blues, is currently plying his trade in Wales for Swansea on loan from his parent club. The Englishman, who can also represent the Ivory Coast, has started 5 games for the Swans as they push for the Championship playoffs. In those games, Guéhi has been very busy, making nearly 4 tackles and interceptions per match, along with 7 clearances, and even though he's still young, he's been able to keep up with the physically demanding league, winning 3.5 aerial duels. For context, this is actually better than Fikayo Tomori's season with Derby in 2018-19, at least from a defensive perspective. Comfortable on the ball as well as in the tackle, Swansea's number 2 has been averaging 60 passes a game at a success rate of 84%. While not outstanding, these are desirable attributes which will only improve with time. Guéhi's currently on track to return to West London at the end of the 2019-20 season, and after signing a new contract until 2022, the future looks very promising indeed. Defender Steven SESSEGNON. The lesser-known SESSEGNON twin, Steven is slowly emerging from the shadow of his brother to carve out a career of his own at Fulham. While Ryan is busy propping up the Tottenham bench, Steven is gradually gaining more game time back at Craven Cottage. The right-back was a regular at the Under-17 World Cup, and his performances led to the teenager making 4 League Cup appearances between 2017 and 2019 for the Cottagers. But while brother Ryan would go on to be a star in Fulham's successful 2017-18 Championship promotion campaign, scoring 15 times, Steven has had to wait for his moment to shine. This season, however, his patience is paying off, with 9 starts and 2 further appearances in England's second division. Though that may only include 709 minutes of football, he is a regular on the bench and around the first team setup. So valued is he by Fulham, the club rebuffed any reported attempts by Tottenham to include him in the £24 million deal that saw his brother head to North London last summer. At just 19, he still has a fruitful career ahead of him, and if Fulham can capitalise on their strong league position, he could be playing Premier League football in no time at all. Midfielder Conor Gallagher. Whilst Conor Gallagher may have not featured much in the 2017 tournament, only receiving 122 minutes, his experience in senior football outweighs his counterparts. A substitute for fellow Chelsea Academy product George McEachran in the final, the latter has just 2 first-team appearances for Cambuur in the Dutch second division to his name. Gallagher, meanwhile, has had quite the season so far, joining newly promoted Charlton on loan back in August. 3 goals in his first 6 appearances saw him named Football League Young Player of the Month. Praised roundly by manager Lee Bowyer, by January the box-to-box midfielder had made 26 appearances, doubled his goal tally to 6, registered 2 assists and even coupled 3 tackles and interceptions per game with 3.1 shots and dribbles per 90. Much to the disappointment of Bowyer, the Addicts League struggles meant Chelsea recalled the 20-year-old in the winter. Rather than fall back into the Blues junior system, however, Gallagher was sent straight back on loan. This time he was reunited with his England under-17s manager Steve Cooper at Swansea and has gone on to make 10 appearances to date. Though yet to score or assist, life among better players will no doubt be doing the midfielder some good. One to watch, his idol and future manager Frank Lampard will be keeping a close eye on his development. Midfielder Tashan Oakley-Booth. Despite currently holding 29 caps for England at youth level, Tashan Oakley-Booth has found gaining first-team football hard to come by so far. A product of the Tottenham Hotspur Youth Academy, pre-season involvement with the main squad, including an appearance against PSG in the 2017 International Cup, failed to translate into any Premier League action. A stoppage-time appearance in a League Cup tie against Barnsley later that year was as good as it got, with the central midfielder limited to under-23s football. His luck, however, could all be about to change. In January 2020, he rejected a new contract from the Lily-Whites, instead choosing to sign with Championship side Stoke City. And while he wouldn't appear in February, a half-time substitute appearance on the 7th of March against Hull City granted him his first real professional minutes. Not only that, he even assisted Nick Powell for the final goal as the Potters ran out 5-1 winners. In that game, he replaced Joe Allen, with the influential Welshman picking up a season-ending Achilles injury. Albeit unfortunate, this could spell an opportunity for Oakley-Booth to shine, with Michael O'Neill set to be more reliant on the 20-year-old. Though it is early days, moving to Stoke could be the making of the midfielder. Midfielder Phil Foden. If you hadn't heard of Phil Foden before the Under-17 World Cup, you certainly would have after. His brilliant display saw him named FIFA Golden Boy Player of the tournament, immediately thrusting the Manchester City youngster into the footballing limelight. 3 years on, he is continuing to break records. In December 2017, he became the first player born in the year 2000 to start a Champions League game, and by the end of the season had become the youngest ever player to receive a Premier League winners' medal. But despite all the love and compliments sent his way by Pep Guardiola, he is still yet to receive a consistent run in the side. 3 seasons have yielded only 30 Premier League appearances, including just 348 minutes of league football this campaign. He has, however, looked exceptional when played. 2 goals and 2 assists in the Champions League, with a passing success rate of over 90%, as well as a man-of-the-match winning performance in the League Cup final, have shown the pundits what to expect. It has long been said that Foden is the heir to David Silva's throne when the mercurial Spaniard leaves the Etihad this summer. If that really is the case, the 2021 season should finally signal the 19-year-old's ascendancy to the top of the English game. Midfielder Morgan Gibbs-White. Another of the under-17 squad gradually breaking into the Premier League setup is Wolves central midfielder Morgan Gibbs-White. Under Nuno Espirito Santo, the 20-year-old has become a regular first-team member. He followed up 13 appearances in the 2017-18 Championship season with 5 starts in 21 sub-appearances for the West Midlands club last season. No mean feat considering the quality of the Portuguese-inspired Premier League highflyers. This season, however, the Wolves Academy product has witnessed the ugly side to life as a professional sportsman, with back injury ruling him out for much of the campaign. In his absence, João Moutinho, Ruben Neves and Leander Dendoncker have put in brilliant displays in the midfield, making a return to first-team football particularly hard for Gibbs-White. That hasn't stopped him adding 4 more Premier League appearances to his CV, with a further 4 outings in the Europa League, where 1.8 key passes and shots per game are his best attacking return to date. Wolves are a team on the up, so the Englishman would do well to stay patient and wait for his moment to shine. Forward, Callum Hudson-Odoi. England has been blessed with an era of unbelievable new talent in attack, and Callum Hudson-Odoi is no exception to that. There was hardly a defender who could lay a finger on the Chelsea Academy product at the Under-17 World Cup, with his exceptional skill and speed reigning supreme. It was no surprise then that the Chelsea faithful demanded he be given a run out in the first team, with fans desperate to see some young English blood in the side absent since the days of Terry and Lampard. In the 2018-19 season, Hudson-Odoi began to translate his frightening ability at youth level to the adult game. But despite 4 goals and 2 assists in the Europa League, including a ridiculous 3.3 dribbles per game, Blues boss Maurizio Sarri was reluctant to let his young talent loose in the Premier League. It would take 2 failed £30 million plus bids from Bayern Munich, a contract standoff and even a written transfer request from the Wandsworth-born winger to force his hand, with the prospect of losing their starlet simply unacceptable to the Chelsea hierarchy. Though this campaign under Frank Lampard hasn't quite gone to plan, thanks in part to an Achilles injury at the end of last season, there is no denying how good the English international is on his day. Watch this space. Forward, Ryan Brewster. Stuck behind Liverpool's infamous trio of Salah, Mane and Firmino, as well as Origi on the bench, opportunities at Anfield have been hard to come by for the Under-17 World Cup's top scorer, Ryan Brewster. Often an unused substitute in Liverpool's successful 2018-19 Champions League campaign, the 19-year-old has made just 3 appearances for the Reds in the league and FA Cup to date. This led to transfer speculation for the forward, with Liverpool even cancelling a pre-season friendly with German side Borussia Mönchengladbach over fears they were trying to tap him up. Resisting advances from afar, in June 2018 he signed a new contract at the club before heading to Swansea on loan in the January window. And the move could prove to be the making of the East Londoner. Similar to Conor Gallagher, Brewster has repaid the faith shown in him by manager Steve Cooper, with 4 goals from 10 starts in the Championship. In the Swans squad, only Andre Ayew is taking more shots than his 2.4 per game, while he is already the club's 3rd top goalscorer. Jurgen Klopp will no doubt be watching with interest, but what is clear to see is that Brewster has a bright future ahead of him wherever he ends up. Forward, Jadon Sancho. He may have been withdrawn by Borussia Dortmund midway through the tournament, but there is no way we can discuss the Under-17 winners without mentioning Jadon Sancho. Easily the biggest star in the squad, the former Watford and Manchester City Academy product has shown everyone how right he was to swap England for Germany by lighting up the Bundesliga. Sancho is finishing his 3rd season in Germany's top division with almost 5,000 minutes of league action under his belt. Not only that, he currently has 27 goals and 33 assists to his name, and is making a ridiculous 4.9 key passes and shots per 90 at the time of recording. On course for his 2nd appearance in the Bundesliga Team of the Year, thanks to 29 goal involvements this campaign, the Londoner is one of world football's most desired prospects. His form has promoted endless transfer speculation, with price tags north of £100 million being mooted for his services. A regular starter for the national side too, where Sancho is playing next year remains to be seen. Just before we finish, a quick shout out to the Under-17 captain, Joël Latibeaudiere. The centre-back didn't make this X-side, but has just begun his first team career on loan at Dutch side FC Twente from Manchester City. Though he is yet to break into Guardiola's squad, a strong showing at one of the Netherlands' most established clubs should do his chances no harm. So that was our 11 of the England Under-17 World Cup winners, but what did you make of it? Let us know in the comments below, and if you have any ideas about similar exercise we could do in the future, let us know as well. If you enjoyed this, why not click on screen right now? And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to Football Daily, and we'll see you soon.